let's dive into the real law of attraction, based on the incredible work of Simon Gray. I want you to forget everything you think you know about manifesting because honestly, the true secret goes so much deeper than just thinking happy thoughts. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's just start with this question right here. Have you ever done the whole thing where you're staring in the mirror, repeating affirmations, and just feeling kind of silly, like nothing is happening? Or worse, maybe things actually seem to go downhill? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are not alone. And you know what? There's a very real reason why that whole positive thinking thing can totally fall flat.
To really get why, we need to wrap our heads around this powerful idea, and it's summed up perfectly by Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. This is the absolute key. See, the universe doesn't argue with you, it doesn't judge, it just reflects back whatever you truly believe. So the real question isn't, what are you thinking? It's, what do you actually believe?
And that leads us right into our first big topic. We're going to break down exactly why just thinking positively can be a total waste of time. It really all comes down to this hidden battle that's happening right between your ears.
So, you know that positive thought you're trying so hard to hold on to? Well, that's coming from your conscious mind. But guys like Freud and Jung pointed out a long time ago that your conscious mind is just the tiny little tip of the iceberg. Underneath the surface, you've got this massive, powerful subconscious. It's like a giant warehouse holding all your memories, your deepest fears, and all these core beliefs you formed when you were a kid. And the crazy part is, you're not even aware of most of it.
Now check out this metaphor from the book, because it is absolutely brilliant. Imagine that one positive thought, I am wealthy, is like a single beautiful solo violin. But your subconscious mind, with all its old programming and doubts like money is hard to get or you're not good enough, well, that's an entire orchestra, and it's playing a completely different song. That poor little violin doesn't stand a chance, right? It just gets drowned out by all that noise. And that right there perfectly illustrates the problem. When you try to force an affirmation that your subconscious just doesn't buy, it doesn't just roll over and accept it. No way. It fights back. All those little voices in your head start screaming, "That's not true." And here's the kicker. You actually end up making that old negative belief even stronger. It's a total psychological tug of war, and you're fighting against yourself. Okay, so if just trying to force positive thoughts is a recipe for disaster, what's the answer? Well, we have to look at what really fuels the engine of attraction. And it turns out it's not just about what you think, it's all about what you feel. Here is the absolute game-changing shift in thinking. The universe, or the law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, it responds to where you put your focused attention and, this is the most important part, your emotional energy. It's not about just passively having a thought float through your head. It's about actively feeling the reality of what you want. Think of it like this. Your attention is the magnifying glass, but your emotion, that's the gasoline you pour on the fire. So here's how the book really breaks it down into a practice. First, you have to focus your mind, your consciousness on what you want, with zero distractions. Then, you supercharge that thought with intense emotion. What would it feel like? Feel the joy, the excitement, the gratitude. Third, you got to do it consistently. Make it a real habit. And finally, you infuse that entire process with love, which the book argues is the most powerful, high-frequency emotion in the entire universe.
Now, this is a really critical warning, so listen up. The universe is basically an equal opportunity energy responder. It doesn't label your emotions as good or bad. That means the intense, powerful energy of fear or anger or worrying about your bills, that's just as magnetic as joy and love. So if you are constantly focusing on what you're afraid of, guess what? You are powerfully, magnetically calling that right into your life. All right, so you've got the engine roaring. You're fueling it with focus and emotion. But what if you're still not moving? It feels like you're just spinning your wheels. Well, it's probably time to check if you've left the emergency brake on. Let's talk about the hidden forces of self-sabotage. The book points to 3 core beliefs that are like massive roadblocks on your journey. First up is unworthiness, that deep down feeling that you just don't deserve good things. Then there's shame, the belief that you're fundamentally broken or flawed. And finally, a belief in lack, this pervasive idea that there just isn't enough good stuff to go around. These feelings are running in the background, totally subconscious, and they are silently canceling out all your hard work. Okay, get ready, because this next slide is a huge aha moment for so many people. We often think we want a thing, right? Like a new car. But if you dig deeper, what you're really chasing is the feeling you believe that car is going to give you, the feeling of success or freedom or security. So the real secret isn't to chase the object, it's to learn how to generate the feeling you desire right here, right now.
And all of this leads us to the final, and honestly, maybe the most profound piece of the whole puzzle. It really requires a radical shift in how we approach everything, moving away from trying to control every outcome, and instead learning how to co-create it. This is the secret of surrender. This quote from Julia Cameron just nails it perfectly. True creation, true manifestation, it's not about gripping your desires with a white-knuckled fist and forcing them into existence. It's about letting go and actually trusting the process. Just look at this contrast, because we have all lived on the left side of this slide. That's the ego's way, right? Trying to control every single detail, obsessing over the how and the when. But the way of surrender, that's a partnership. You do your part. You get crystal clear on your desire, you generate the feeling, and then you trust a higher intelligence, the universe, to handle the logistics. You let it figure out the best way in the best time.
So let's bring it all together. What if we really learned from Simon Gray's work? The real law of attraction has almost nothing to do with just thinking positive thoughts. It's about aligning that incredibly powerful subconscious mind of yours with your conscious desires through focused attention and intense, real emotion. It's about digging deep and clearing out those hidden beliefs of unworthiness and lack. And then, the final piece, it's about letting go of that need to control and stepping into a creative partnership with the universe itself. And that really just leaves us with one last big thought to ponder. We spend so much of our lives trying to grasp and control and force things to happen. But what if the greatest power you have, the true ultimate secret to finally getting everything you've ever wanted, is having the courage to lovingly let it all go?